If your friends haven't told you, McDonald's Spicy Chicken McNuggets are back. The ones made with spicy tempura and aged cayenne. But before you go telling friends, make sure you get them first. Order ahead on the McDonald's app. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For a limited time at participating McDonald's.
Hi, I'm Mike White.
And I'm Rob St. Mary.
And we're the hosts of the Projection Booth podcast.
If you haven't heard of the Projection Booth, that's okay.
But we think it's time that you have.
We've been doing this for over 3 years now.
And we think we're doing a pretty good show.
Every week we look at a different film and put it in context.
We try to bring you interviews with the people behind the films.
Or experts on a subject matter covered in the film.
We don't specialize in any one particular genre or type of film.
We try to examine every aspect of cinema.
From every corner of the globe.
Even at 3 years, we barely just scratched the surface.
But we're ready. We're ready for you to listen to us.
That's right. Now's the time to give us a shot.
Download us through our free smartphone app.
Or through Stitcher, iTunes, Geek Juice Radio, Jackalow.
Or our website.
projection-booth.com.
We'll keep making great shows.
Now it's your turn to listen to them.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's Unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
Hey, it is another episode of Unregimented. I am Chris.
I'm Jay.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Rich.
New research says 4 to 5 cups of coffee a day could be actually good for you.
I did read that.
I'm going with it.
There you go, yeah. We're right on.
Well, usually I do like 2 cups in the morning, but this week I've been drinking coffee pretty steadily.
Yeah, I have also pretty much been on like a steady coffee drip this week, and I have also finally outsmarted the hotel.
Oh, yeah?
For some reason, I'd stay at Hampton Inns a lot.
Right.
They got the coffee out all day, every day, which is good, but for some reason, apparently we cannot handle more than 12 ounces of coffee as adults. Across the USA. So today I got a large coffee from McDonald's and saved the cup. So now I'm able to have my big boy serving of coffee. And also, too, this one hotel, I've only seen it at this actual location. There's usually 4 decanters out.
Right.
Regular, your decaf, your hot water, and your robust, which means the good shit.
Yeah.
The stronger shit.
The uncut. It hasn't been stepped on.
Well, at this hotel, it's only out for breakfast. What the fuck? Why?
It's only sitting out in the morning. I gotcha.
No, just the robust. Everything else. Sorry, I should have clarified that. Just the robust is only out for breakfast.
You're only allowed high octane in the morning, otherwise you're going to get out of control.
Yes. What the fuck is that?
Sir, research has shown that
outside of breakfast, you need that. If you're getting it outside of breakfast hours, you probably need that one out more than the regular.
So research has shown that since we removed the robust brand after breakfast time, we've had significantly less TVs thrown through windows.
I guess
people are just getting out of control. That's also why we cut the 16-ounce cups. People were just losing their minds in this place.
Punching holes in the walls. Assaulting random customers in the lobby.
Well, now, is this a regional thing, or have you noticed this at other...
No, it's just at this location in New Jersey. Every other Hampton Inn, I can go at 11:30 at night, like an adult, and get a cup of the robust coffee. And that's what I usually use, especially when we do the podcasts, because usually after the podcast, it's time to edit the one that has to go up the next day. So I usually drink 2 to 3 cups while I'm talking to you guys, and then I'll go down and keep getting more. And now I got to get the regular, and it's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I would have thought the West Coast would have gone in for this nanny state bullshit, but it seems to be the East Coast that likes to regulate your intake on certain things that they deem as bad for you.
Coffee, soda.
They certainly tax the fuck out of cigarettes in New York.
It's funny. I see the cigarette prices on the signs, on the gas station
and
signs
you're like,
you drive by. In New York, it's like
for $3?
$12.
Right.
You get in New Jersey, it's like $9. It's when you get back home to Michigan, I see cigarette prices are like $6-7. It's like, wow, looks like it's a deal to smoke in Michigan.
Cancer is much cheaper. It's much more affordable in the Rust Belt.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, liking, and sharing Unregimented on Facebook, following us on Twitter at UnregimentedPod. Thanks for all of the new followers on Twitter with Unregimented. Appreciate it. You can subscribe to Unregimented on iTunes for free by clicking through the iTunes banner on ChristopherMedia.net. Android users, you can find the show on Stitcher Radio. If you like what we do and you would like to show your support for us, you can donate to Christopher Media by using the PayPal button on ChristopherMedia.net. Please click through the Amazon banner and bookmark the page. It won't cost you anything extra, and when you buy something, it will help to show your support for Christopher Media. Every Monday through Friday, you can check out a new episode of our Christopher Media show. Monday and Thursday, you get Unregimented. Tuesdays, you're going to get the Weedsman Podcast Nugget, which is the precursor for the big show on Fridays. Wednesdays, you have the Projection Booth. Check those guys out, projection-booth.com. A lot of buzz starting to circle those guys. Check them out. Even we were interviewing a podcaster from Canada a few weeks back, and he shouted them out. So they got reach. People like them. Check them out every Wednesday. Projection Booth. ChristopherMedia.net. If you're looking to launch your own website, please click through the HostGator banner at ChristopherMedia.net. That's who we use to host all of the Christopher Media shows, and when you sign up for HostGator by clicking through our link, you're helping to support ChristopherMedia.net. DraftKings.com, daily fantasy sports leagues, no season-long commitments. You can enter free or paid contests and win your share of over $200 million in prizes. Football's done, but we got basketball. There's even fantasy MMA now. Still curious on how that works. And baseball season coming up. I know about a month here, baseball drafts are going to be starting, but if it's sports, they got it on DraftKings.com. There's fantasy something. When you click through the DraftKings banner at ChristopherMedia.net, you will get a free first-time deposit bonus when you sign up for DraftKings.com.
So, Richard calling. Well, let's see. Does that mean that I can
means you should probably
add him to group call? It worked. Hey, you got what I got.
I don't know, man. I might have the heavy. I've had this for a while now.
I have my asthma is just horrible right now, and I've been doing nothing but wheezing and coughing for the last hour. So we'll see how long I can hold out.
I hear you, man. I forgot because I've recently entered back into the world of smoking weed with everyone that'll smoke with me.
Oh, really?
That most potheads are fucking assholes and won't tell you when they're sick. You know, like they won't share the same drink, but they'll pass around a fucking blunt no matter how wet the tip is and be like, no, the THC will kill it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, right,
you're good.
I always joke with people, it's basically like we're open mouth kissing if we share anything. You're aware of that, right?
Sure.
But yeah, so it's all good. It's all good. So where are we at in the great country of America, Chris?
America's armpit, New Jersey.
Oh, Jersey? Yeah.
The state motto is fuck you.
Nice.
It has to be. Like the people who live in like Trenton, Edison, Newark, like just all along the river, Jersey City, like they make me long for the warmth of the people in Brooklyn and Queens. Like, I just don't give a fuck is probably like the secondary Jersey State motto, because that just seems to be the general attitude. Like, are they pissed they live in New Jersey? You know, are they pissed life's kicking them in the ass? Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with a combination of both. That's just me, though. That's what I think.
After 3 months in this general area, like New York included, it reminds me of Detroit in the sense of I've never seen a group of people collectively so that are their own worst enemy in my life. Like, it just as far as mentalities go. Maybe that's just, you know, I refer that I get to escape Detroit every couple weeks. You know, I get paroled, get to see what it's like in other parts of the country. But it seems like just I want to take half these people aside and go, you're your own worst enemy. Knock it off. I don't know. Like, if this is how you go through life, how's it going? Like, what's the progress report looking like? I bet you, I don't know. Maybe that's just me in the way I think.
Well, speaking of escaping from the prison planet, the walking to work gentleman.
Yeah, he had to move 3 times.
Yeah,
since that story aired.
Yeah, and
why is he getting robbed or some shit?
That's just a commentary. To me, that says everything you need to know about living in the city of Detroit. But I digress, because I don't live there. I'm not allowed to have these thoughts, if you recall.
Well, apparently I'm not allowed to either, but we'll get into that later.
Oh, you know that you live there?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. What's the ETA on Jay? Because I really want him to hear this and have a go at it too.
That's sure.
Kids are involved. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part.
So. You read what we read, I think.
It is a night. We can hold that in hopes.
Well, anyways, long story short, yeah, the gentleman who the walking to work gentleman. I believe on the east side, there was a 80-something-year-old gentleman who the rumor was, I don't even know if it was true, that he won $20,000, and they found him murdered in his basement. Over 20 grand.
Really?
And this is apparently not an uncommon thing in the hood, to where if someone comes into some money and it gets out, all of a sudden you have 50 million cousins and people, if you have a new car in the driveway and a problem saying no, you're not going to have a new car in that driveway for very long.
Well,
it's
okay,
that
wait a
Debo
minute, though.
mentality, man. It really, you think I'm not fucking around. It's the Debo mentality. Like, give me your sandwich.
Yeah, but
I
think what your problem is if you got that new car in the driveway. Your problem is that you went out and bought a new car instead of just moved the fuck out of the hood.
But so you could, But
here's the thing: you have people.
So if you don't want to forget where you came from, if you still want to, and I'm not being facetious here, but if you still want to keep it real and stay and not be elevated to bougie status, so to speak, you have to you can't have nice things. You can't start with, hey, let me get a better, like, what if it's like part of somebody's plan? Well, hey, maybe I got to drive a little bit nicer car to get this promotion at work so I can get a little bit more money so I can get the fuck out. Like, I think that's exactly shitty and it sucks.
Well, it does suck, but that is reality. I went through, I'm not saying that I grew up in the hood, but I lived for 5, maybe 6 years in Detroit and loved that city. I had to move out because I wanted things. I wanted a family, and I couldn't do it in Detroit.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very sad part. That's a very sad reality.
So now we're back to what I've talked. People being their own worst enemy. Get out of your own fucking way. Knock that shit off.
Well, I mean, it's not just a matter of the neighbors that you have. It's also a matter of, and people who know nothing about Detroit except for what they see on TV. One thing you'll never hear is how fucking ridiculous shit like insurance of any type is to have in Detroit. And it's all based upon the zip code you live in. Not necessarily the neighborhood, the zip code.
Oh, but my dad was telling me 45 years ago when he still, when he lived in Detroit and had a Detroit address, he had to get insurance through fucking Lloyd's of London. Yeah. That was the only people who would insure him because this was back in the late 60s in Detroit. He had a Detroit address. And
I thought that was insurance for like taking a diamond necklace to the Grammys. Just provide that, since we don't have.
But the other side of the coin is, it's kind of like that it's based, there's a greater argument here of does it come with the income levels of the area, but it's based on the crime statistics of, I moved from Macomb Township to St. Clair Shores. You'd think my car insurance would have went down. Nope, it went up. Why? Because St. Clair Shores touches 8 Mile. And it's
all based on, what are you going to do? It's insurance. Insurance is based on likelihood of the shit that you don't want to happening. What is your likelihood?
Oh, Chris Rock?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that the likelihood increases, the amount that you pay into the insurance increases because the amount that they pay out is likely to increase.
Okay. I understand because my grandmother was an insurance adjuster for 40 years, and I understand the thought process behind all this. However, the truth is this is still this is no different than back in the day in the neighborhoods in the 40s and 50s. 3 gentlemen with wearing suits with bulges under their left fucking armpit and walking up to going, that's a nice fucking window you got there. Be a shame if someone threw a brick through it. But you can pay us and we'll make sure that never happens. That's pretty, except for the fact that
it just went legit. They found a lobby. They found the right congressman. Said, "Let's make this legal to do." And now it's called the insurance industry.
And we in this fucking country, of course, do what we fucking do these days. We lay down, spread our ass cheeks, and we fucking we take it. And I'm getting to the point. It's like, look, we had. All right, I'm going to get off on some bush shit, so forgive me for a second. We had a fucking president who was questionably elected in the first place, illegally get us into 2 wars, and one on just flat out false premise that is everyone knows was a lie, and we all just go, yeah, what are you going to do? And we're fucking cool with it.
How much Idol's on, Rich?
How much atrocity in the name of the fucking country that we reside in are we going to allow before we finally get a gutful and go, you know what? 1776? Anyone remember that? Or
I think a lot of people are probably wired like me, and you could I'm probably part of the problem, and maybe that's how it is now, until it affects their own personal space, their own personal world.
I'm not even sure that that's true, though, because when you, the attitude of what are you going to do about it, even when it lands on your doorstep, you still get that same attitude. You know, the government's spying on you, reading your emails, listening to your phone calls. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? The police in the city are targeting black people. What are you going to do about it?
Pretty much. I mean,
it has to literally hit home, like affect you financially or affect one of your loved ones.
I don't know which dystopian novel is more true today. I don't know if it's 1984 or Brave New World, but either way, it's not really a country supposedly that's number one that I want to fucking live in, and we're not number one in shit except for what, incarceration per capita,
pounds per citizen.
Yeah. Well, no. Mexico's fatter than us now. We've actually
it's all that cheese.
We've exported poverty to a country so much that we've made them fatter than us. And so it's like we can go, well, we're number 2 in that. So I mean, you know, we're not the fattest people in the fucking world. Look at these fucking Mexicans, and they're still trying to get here. So I guess that must mean something.
Yesterday, I was watching The Simpsons from 1992, where Homer had to have an operation, a triple bypass operation, and he couldn't afford it. And he said, "Don't worry about it. The U.S. has the best health care next to," and then lists off like all these countries, like pretty much all of Europe. I mean, it's not any new thing. That we're not number one in everything that we think of. We're still a lot better than most countries, and I'm not saying that I'm looking to move, but we're doing a lot of things that are just disappointing. It's like you expect better. It's like when you get mad at your family or somebody that's close to you when they do something stupid, and you're just like, God damn it, you're better than that. The fuck are you doing?
It's and to me, here's the thing. It's like when you were a kid, when you fucked up and your parents would whoop your ass, you were just like, okay, I took the ass whooping, punishment's over with, whatever. It was always worse for me when they just look at you and go, I'm so disappointed in you. That was always worse because it's like, oh, I let them down.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Our country doesn't give a fuck. Our leaders don't give a fuck that we're like, you let us down. And we've given up on the ass whooping part. That's just not going to happen.
But let me carry on your analogy there, though, because this is what's happening with my kids, right? If I need to talk to them about something, I need their attention, I need to reprimand them about something, I'm not getting their full attention until I raise my voice, because they can stare off into space and then just go back to the iPad or whatever the fuck else it is, electronic, that they want to get their noses in. And it's the same thing with what's going on here. We have way too much entertainment, way too much information at our disposal, and we can just lose ourselves in it and say, well, I can't do anything about that problem. What's next on House of Cards?
It's just like during the Roman Empire, man. It's bread and circuses. Okay, I mean, this is nothing new. We're not planting flags as a country as far as creating this country and then creating ways for our own demise, to where in 100 years from now, we're no longer, we're holding on to that. We're a first world country, kind of.
Well, we're plateauing. Our plateau is still above where most other countries are, but if you take exponential growth from other countries like China, for example, they're going to bypass us, even if without any actual human rights in their country. They're going to dominate the world at this pace, and we're going to continue to do what we do, which is just go, we got here. That's good enough.
Well, what I find funny is that I have a lot of right wing family and friends who go, the poor in our country live better than the poor in any other fucking country.
I guess that's what you consider poor, like.
Well, okay, and I'm like, okay, so are we talking? And they're like, well, everyone's got at least a PlayStation 2 if you're poor in this country, and you got food stamps. And I'm like, okay, that may be working poor, but we're talking poverty. It's pretty much the same when you get down to it. But here's the thing. You fuckers beat your chest, and you beat anyone else in the face who doesn't agree with you when you wave that fucking flag, and you go, America, number one. And when we go, we're really not. You want to beat us in the face verbally, and if that doesn't work, you're willing to resort to a physical fucking confrontation, and you're willing to do it to defend the right to be not as shitty as a country that you look down upon, like just barely not as shitty as this country that you look down upon. Shouldn't we be leaps and bounds better if we're that great of a country? If this is God gave us these rights first of all, this God-given right shit, that's another thing that gets on my fucking nerve. God didn't give you shit, but the ability to come up with the idea of God. That's fucking it. Just fucking, and
we don't judge anymore, and by that I mean there are no more standards. There's just the attitude of fuck it, or what are you going to do is more prevalent than ever.
Do you know how many people I talk to that go, only God can judge me? That's in the Bible. No, that's in Tupac. You stupid
shut
fuck.
Up. Yeah.
Right. This whole nonsense of like we're number one. First of all, let's evolve our thinking beyond where our placement is according to other countries and just figure out how we can make our lives better in this country. And also, this number one thinking is actually an extension of the religion that you're talking about, because God is infallible. He created this earth and wanted us to be the most powerful country on the earth. This is God's will that, we're these all-powerful, can do no wrong Americans. So of course we're number one. We can't be anything other than number one. So when we invade a country for no fucking reason and kill thousands of people, thousands of them our own people that we put in harm's way, well, we must have done it for a good reason, because our country is as infallible as our God who wants our country to exist.
Exactly. And at least for this moment, in this moment right now, I am so fucking tired of that and dealing with people like that on a daily basis. People who are otherwise intelligent human beings and go about their lives in rational and logical ways, but when you corner them and they throw that out at you and they go, well, that's all I have to say because, hey, I woke up this morning. No, excuse me. I've been hearing this a lot lately. God woke me up this morning, so I have nothing to complain about. You know what woke me up this morning? A Samsung Galaxy playing the fucking ringtone that I set to wake me up this fucking morning.
My brain woke me up this morning.
Well, that if I didn't have to work, yeah, so.
Yeah, my alarm that get hit for snooze exactly 4 times as it usually does every morning woke me up this morning. And if it was God waking me up, I would still be like, come back in 5.
Exactly.
Hey, big man, could you do me a favor?
I'm just going to roll over and pretend you don't exist. Just hit me up in 5 minutes.
Boss man usually comes a little late on Wednesdays, so if you could just let me go an extra 10 today, that'd be cool. Thanks, Big B. I just want to say welcome to all the new listeners from Twitter, all the new listeners from TuneIn.com, all the new listeners from Stitcher. So we've been getting favorited and retweeted by a lot of websites. Like, let me actually pull them up so I can say their names correctly and not be like, oh, that one website. But so we've been getting a lot of, I think the geek hashtag is helping us out, but thinkgeek.com, I believe. Let me click on the website.
I keep laughing because all I can think about is you saying, it's nerds. Which I'd never isolated that as a drop, did I? I need to find which episode that was at, because it was, I can't remember. It was like Rob and I talking about something, and you're just like, no, it's nerds.
Yeah, thinkgeek.com. Thank you for all the retweets and the favorites. And yeah, no, they've really been all over our tip lately, so thanks for that, guys.
Great.
crazygeektalk.com is another one who has
I'm sorry, I was sleazing over that one. What did you say?
crazygeektalk.com.
Love it.
Both of those guys, sites, whatever, are on Twitter. TuneIn has been a lot of traction. All of a sudden, the TuneIn is getting just as many plays as our Stitcher app. So, hey, apparently people at TuneIn digging what Christopher Media Network is doing. So just thank you to everybody that's new and listening to us. And tell your friends, pass it on. That's how the shit works.
We definitely appreciate it. And Think Geek, I have to be honest, Think Geek is the only one I know out of all those you named so far. So, like Stitcher, obviously, I know because people are like, well, how can I listen? You can stream it from the website. You can do this. You can do that. Well, I don't have iTunes on my Android. Well, that's what Stitcher's for. Am I correct?
Or just go right to the website.
You know how many people tell me they can't figure that out? And I'm going, yet you know how to breathe without having to be told? Really?
I bet you could look up the specific kind of pornography you would like to see right now, but you can't get to our website.
Right. This is as dumb as saying, well, how do I find that radio station?
But you can find homemade videos of MILFs taking cum shots in the face if you really wanted to right now, but you can't find our website.
Hold on a second.
You can find all of your ex-girlfriends on Facebook.
I started noticing I had some wrinkles, and I looked up facial, and I found what Chris was talking about. So
facial?
Yeah, because I had wrinkles. I'm gonna let that.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the Norm Macdonald and just stare into the non-camera I have until someone laughs.
Oh, you can't break the fourth wall when there's not the other three to surround it.
I know.
Just pull a Letterman, just keep saying the punchline over and over.
Facial. Tap your pencil a couple more times.
Facial.
Oh shit! All right,
maybe tug on the collar.
I have to ask this question because we're going to speak in hypotheticals for a minute, if that's okay with you gentlemen. Hypothetically, have you ever been in a situation where...
That's a direct question already.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a hypothetical.
And my brain is swirling.
All right.
This could be like,
Have you ever is not a hypothetical. Would you is a hypothetical.
All right. Okay, I'm sorry. Mr. English professor, are we done?
I just want to know what we're talking about here. I don't want to say yes to something and then admit.
All right, well then let's just say, have you ever been in a situation where a friend of yours was with a female for a while? They split up, and it was mostly due to, and I mean you know this for a fact, he couldn't keep it in his pants, whatever.
Sure, yeah,
yes, and they're split up, and now all of a sudden you're getting a lot of attention years later from his ex, and you're like, "Oh,
I've heard this goes on." Yes,
yeah, and it's like that's one of the things I pride myself on. I've never had a woman come between me and one of my friends, so it's like I'm not sure.
How long have they been separated?
Except for a brief 3-month.
Hypothetically,
except for a brief 3-month go of trying to make it work again, going on 4 years.
How often do you see hypothetically, how often do you see the friend?
Wait a minute. I don't think that's a fair question there. This shouldn't be based on whether you think... this is like saying, do you think you can get away with it?
No, this is saying that...
No, because Chris is... Wait, hold on, let me finish though.
Look,
Chris is asking Rich, how often are you going to see the dude who used to date the girl who is currently blowing you up? Which means, if you hit this... How often are you going to have to lie to his face?
Here's the thing: I wouldn't lie to his. Let's just stop at the hypothetical.
Actually, not where I was going with that. But another viable scenario.
Here's the way I look at it. Here's the way I look at it. Okay. I've known this guy. I've known this guy for 20 years. I've known this guy for 20 years. We were never super close, but anytime we hung out, he's one of those guys that whenever we'd see each other, our friendship would pick right back up from where it left off. And it could have been months, it could have been years, it could have been days. It was like we never were not talking for a period of time. I didn't know the woman he married. And he married her, and I met her years after they'd been married, and apparently that relationship was on the rocks. However, I think anyone with two brain cells to rub together could have, if when they saw her and I in the same room together, could have picked up on there's a little bit of chemistry there. And I've always was like, no, you gotta go. I can't do that. Now they're split up. And I mean, we're not talking on the phone. We're not seeing each other in person very often. I mean, it's maybe once a year, but I mean, it's very much the online thing. And I've never ventured into that. Remember I told you it took me an hour to ask for some nudes from a chick? You know, I mean, so I'm not good at the online thing. I'm very much an in-person type of guy. That's where my bullshit charm is.
Get good at it. Cause anyway,
you got to send them a pic first. But it's not the dick pic. I send them either my ass or a bicep.
Sometimes the left ball. Look,
they look.
I'm reinventing the game. Ball picks.
It does not matter if you just give it a little bit of flex and take a close up of your bicep. It's going to look enormous, and chicks dig that. And don't be like super flexing, like trying to make a vein pop out of it. Just
you're like.
Just show some definition.
Your arm up.
So exactly like sending a dick pic. Don't like grab it by the base and make a vein pop out.
Right, don't make it purple and angry.
I'd be scared of it. You shoot it at,
Like I think
if you shoot it from the bottom up.
You get the response back after you got the cock ring that's way too tight on your dick, and they're like, that's like turning blackish purple. I don't think that's normal. I'm not turned on. I'm worried for you now. You need to see a doctor.
I like to shoot my dick pics against a skyline so it just looks enormous. Maybe even Photoshop some fire coming out of it.
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go hit up Toys R Us and get a baby, like a Cabbage Patch doll or a real and put that baby dick or baby hand on my dick and be like, take that picture. Be like, look at this. This thing's massive.
That's my hand.
Oh shit! All right.
Actually, Rich, if they've been split up for 4 years,
the kung fu grip on it.
Go for it. Is what I say. By the way, not to change cock talk.
Well, I'll make this quick, but let me tell you how that scenario played out for me, because I had very similar situation, very, very similar, and I still saw quite a bit of the girl, and had a lot of friends in common. We would hang out drinking a lot, and one night we were all drinking at my place, and she decided that she was tired and wanted to sleep in my bed, and I was like, and yes, let me show you the way. I had one of the most amazing nights of sex that I've ever had. Saw her a couple times afterwards, and it was just weird, and we both agreed. And that it should never have progressed any further than that one night. And then remained friends.
So Aaron's saying if you want to have some good sex, go for it.
What I'm saying is sex. If you think that you want to have something long-term going on here, though, then you're going to have to confront this other person at some point. And the earlier you do it, the better. If you just want to bang her and have some good sex, I don't judge anybody for that.
What's up, bitches?
Yo, who's in the house?
Whoop, whoop.
Like Jay's in the ninja.
Stealthy like a motherfucker.
Onto this. Oh, a little Irish cream. Hey.
Yeah. This week has been great. I'm sorry I interrupted the conversation you were having. This week has been great. I gave my notice at my job.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Is this arable information?
Yes, it's arable information.
Cool.
I'm sad to be leaving them, but I'm happy to be going where I'm going. So I get to pick out my new company laptop today, and I was
Is
just
it an Apple?
Fuck no.
You're so funny.
It's a Asus Republic of Gamers laptop.
Nice.
So I went with
I don't know what that means.
It means it's
Asus, like some guy, some Mexican
Asus, yeah, Asus.
That's
Asus,
the Mexican brand knockoff.
Yeah. So no, I'm pretty geeked about it. It's I'm pretty geeked. I'm excited to start my new gig. I feel sad and bad for the company I'm leaving because they really tried to keep me a lot. Like really tried to keep me.
Yeah.
Like took me to lunch and said, "Tell us what it takes to keep you."
Whatever.
Can you be someone else?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Can you be somebody? No. I want to go a different direction than they're going, and that's really the point of me leaving. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's
somebody eating a Werther's over there. What is that noise?
Sorry, it's a throat lozenge.
Okay.
Sorry, I was trying to do it off mic as much as I could, but it's a
your
headset
mic apparently picks up
attached.
everything.
Yeah.
I know. So when I start jerking off, it's going to get really uncomfortable between us four.
For you,
Jay, are you going?
I can be silent, but you're going to hear it hit.
Jay, real quick question: Are you by any chance Are you going into like game designing or something like that?
No, man, but I do audio video testing.
Okay.
And I have to be able to send out as high of a resolution of a signal as I possibly can, because as people go up to the 4K resolutions and things of that nature in the commercial industry, which is the way they're going. I don't know if you're familiar with 4K at all. I'm sure you see it as a buzzword on all TVs and shit.
I know 2K Sports. That's it.
Yeah. So. Well, it's like I'm sure you heard of 1080p resolution, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, think instead of 1080p, you think 4000. You know what I mean? 4K.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So it's not just seeing nose hair; you're actually seeing microbes.
Dude, it's amazing. Yeah, it's the resolutions are fucking amazing. They have 8K resolutions, but they're not available for anything but testing purposes. And I'll tell you what, I've seen it, and it was in a test lab, and it was amazing.
Is it like looking through a window?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Jesus.
It's fucking amazing. Like 1080p, dude. 4K makes 1080p look like VHS.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird how, like...
Just think a decade ago. Think to 2004. Yeah. Or no, I'm sorry, 2005. Just think how far we've come in 10 years.
Right.
Think what the next 10 are going to be like. Good Lord.
But
it's going to be amazing, dude, because I have the...
looking from 95 to 2005. I mean, good God, man.
I see what they're working on right now, man. It's like, holy fucking crap. You know
what I was trying to say is that it's really strange how we've adjusted to everything, though, and how quickly we adjust. When HD came out, I was like, "Oh, I don't really need it." And then you try and watch non-HD, and you're just like, "What?" You feel like you got grease on your eyes, or like somebody put Vaseline on the screen.
It's fun.
Guys, somebody gives you brickweed now. What the fuck is this?
You know what's funny, man, is like I look at so much high def all the time that when I come home and I watch a lower def TV, I love it.
Yeah,
I fucking love it because the higher def stuff, it takes the imagination out of it to me.
That's like what 3D is like for me. I don't really enjoy it.
What's that?
What's going on?
Is this another thing for hipsters to get pretentious about? Oh, I watch standard def TV, man.
No, dude, no.
Fucking video sommelier over here.
It's not like that. It's really not like that. But when you look at it, you know, when you look at it like you look at a piece of paper every single fucking day, you know, like it's your daily look at.
He's had to get HD lenses because his family doesn't look real anymore.
No shit. No, I mean, you know, so when you see so much video, it's like that's just crazy content. The wow factor goes away. But, you know, so when you come home and you're watching your favorite TV show, and I only have a 720p television and I got a 1080i projector. And
I only have 720.
Yeah, that's
only, you know,
it's fine to me. I see the huge difference, but it's marketing. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for marketing, that shit wouldn't be around.
Right.
You know,
but not. I mean, remember 3D TV doesn't always work.
No, it doesn't. No.
It's almost like reading. Like sometimes when I read a comic book that's just too pretty. Right. I have to keep reading it because I'm not actually reading the words. I'm so like enraptured in what, you know.
Yeah, I found that like I have to set, you know, monitors up and, you know, displays up to look good for my clients. So I play movies like Avatar or stuff like that I can't stand the fucking movie anymore, but it's long enough that, you know, and I just mute it. It's long enough and pretty enough and high def enough to where it's a good color thing.
It looks amazing.
Everything's blue though. That's the shitty thing.
Right.
You can't, you know.
But at least it's a blue that you know, so you can tune it, right?
Right.
It's
so
good constant.
You know, when you tune the rooms like that, it's like, and then I watch it on my 720. It's like, wow, you know what? This is kind of cool because like the shit in the background that I'm so used to seeing, like I can see lighting. You know what I mean? Like you can see the freaking stage lighting on some movies or some TV shows, and it goes from like, you know, you can watch like. Okay,
you see, like the edge of it, like what do they call it? The
halo or whatever you want to call it. Like a TV show. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Chuck. It's an older TV show.
Yeah.
So I watched that on a HD TV, and it looks like a fucking soap opera to me. You know, like you can see the light glaring off of people's heads and shit like that.
Yes. The difference between exactly.
Right.
I know
now,
what you're saying.
I watch it on my 720, and I can get immersed into the show because I'm not distracted by the lighting on the TV. Because I'm a video game player, you know, so like I get distracted by pixel changes, you know, because you get so used to looking at like there could be a fucking sniper like a 1 pixel size away, and you see that motherfucker, you know.
Well, that's interesting though. Have you played a video game that's given you the same experience?
Yeah.
Are we getting to that point where they're just too real to that they don't even suck in anymore? No, it's not quite
like that because the video game developers, there's no like it's fake lighting. You know, it's like they put the shadows where they're at. You know, they develop the game for that resolution.
Well, hold on a second. One sec, Jay. I have to say this. I went from 360 on standard def to 360 on 720, and then I bought a PS3, and I went from PS3 on 720 to 1080. Even though most games don't run in 1080, they say to run them in 720 on the PS3. But still, when I started playing a game like The Last of Us, I was sitting there like watching the cinematics going, this is kind of fucking creepy. Like it's
That's what I was talking about more so. The general like getting lost in how much detail there is in there and not actually getting sucked into the story itself.
Well, my machine at home, I have a monitor that'll do 1080p at 144 hertz. And man, is that fucking amazing on a I have one right next to it that only does 60 hertz.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's a 768 monitor. And the difference between the two, if I drag the game back and forth between the two monitors, is like, holy crap, dude! Like I can't watch my video games at 60 hertz anymore because I will see the flicker. And I know people say you can't see the flicker. Yeah, bullshit. You stare at something long enough, and you know what you're looking for. You see the flicker.
Okay, we're all four musicians to a certain extent. We all know this.
Yeah. What?
There's a difference between tube and solid state.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But you take the average person, and they're going to go, I don't hear a difference.
Right.
And you're like, you don't hear that fucking difference?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
So I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm not able to see it because I'm not that immersed in part of technology to that point.
That's a pretty good analogy, too, though, because it's not that solid state or one's better than the other, right? Most musicians play on tube amps. Why? Because we're so used to that sound, and we can feel like we can do more with it.
Yeah, it's richer.
Solid state is way more efficient.
Right.
Is going to last a lot longer. Is cheaper to maintain and buy. But it just doesn't have the same sound. We're going to get to the same point with video where, like, yes, we can have these super high resolutions, but we don't need it. Or especially, maybe we don't need it for a movie or a TV show, but it adds something to a documentary.
The funny thing is most Blu-rays play at 24 hertz.
Yeah.
That's what's fucked up is like everybody's buying these these 1080 TVs. They're buying these 1080 TVs at 200 hertz per second, and it's like, well, the Blu-ray is only playing at 24 hertz.
Right.
So,
See, all I can say is that when I got my PS3 for the first time and I put it on a 1080 TV, the one Blu-ray I own is Sunshine. Aaron, I think you said you've seen that movie.
Sunshine?
Yeah. Danny Boyle.
I know the movie.
It was his first movie after 28 Days Later. Cillian Murphy, Rose Byrne. Come on, don't leave me hanging here, sir.
Sorry.
Okay, fuck it. Well, anyways, it's.
I will watch it though.
It's a sci-fi movie. You'll really like it.
Probably. I love Danny Boyle.
But seeing that versus just a regular DVD, I was like, holy shit. Like, I get it. But then I've went back and watched some Quentin Tarantino movies that I've borrowed on Blu-ray. And I think Tarantino's not a big fan of digital. He still wants to. He still wants to be. He wants to film literally on film.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's an art beast.
I mean, the pretentiousness aside, it looks a little bit warmer than it does. I don't know any other way to describe it.
It adds a grit to it. It adds his films, they add the film actually adds life to the movie.
Right, and there's so many different options now, not just even talking between film and digital. There's so many different digital options, and they have different characteristics, so that's become an artistic choice.
Right.
It's you have more choices than just, are we going to film this in color or black and white?
Right.
I mean, you look at what Steven Soderbergh does with digital. Traffic.
Yeah.
How he color-coded. He had like 3 different stories going on, and if you notice, he color-codes the different stories so you could follow him easier.
Same thing with Darren Aronofsky.
What was the Jet Li movie? The Arrow? Or not Arrow. What the hell was the Jet Li movie he did that? It was like where Jet Li was an assassin.
That narrows it down.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
It was all Chinese.
Did he have a set of matching 45s?
No, he did not. It was all okay. Like old school China, man. It was like basically... Yeah. What the
Throwing
hell
stars?
Is that
the one where we got in a bunch of fights?
Yeah, I know.
By the way, while he looks that up, I'll tell you briefly, Ninjack is what sounds like a stupid name for a comic book, but it's fucking awesome.
It sounds like a stealthy way of masturbating. Called the Ninjack.
No, I got issue 1 today, and I am in love with it already.
I'm just saying, I pulled a Ninjack at work a couple days ago.
I pulled a Ninjack at the bus stop the other day. Just couldn't wait till I got home.
Hey, that's where living in Detroit and everyone having baggy pants kind of helps, you know? You can Ninjack all over the place and no one even fucking knows.
Oh, Rich, thank you. You just made my fucking night.
Yeah, oh, wow. I do it. I try my best, man. I have my moments. I don't know.
By the way, guys, while we're talking about this whole this higher quality thing and going back to the to the low res for whether it's audio or video for the warmth of it or the
right, tube versus solid state or even vinyl versus
well,
CD.
you know where this would never apply to with men across the board, women. I've been fucking tens for a couple months. I just throw a 5 in there every once in a while to keep it real. No, never going to apply in that.
Yes, it's
the way guys are wired. I just think that's kind of ironic.
It's the you never cheat down syndrome. But we all no. But here's the
well, wait a minute, Paul.
Time out. We do cheat down. That's the thing. Patrice O'Neill had a wonderful, genius bit about if you ask a woman, hook her up to a lie detector. Okay, you have your husband, your family, your kids, your house. Okay, there's Brad Pitt or George Clooney or whoever over there. Would you fuck them? They go, I mean, they're hot, but I'm not going to risk this for that. You hook up a man to the lie detector machine and go, you have your wife, your kids, your house, your job, your career, your money. Okay, see that chick over there by the dumpster covered in trash? Would you fuck her? And they're like, oh. But the way the trash is on her, it's just so cute, It's like,
yep.
And it's
the
just
male brain, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, say again.
I said the male brain, ladies and gentlemen.
In theory, no one ever wants to cheat in a relationship, but if they're going to cheat, they don't want to cheat down. The sad truth is that
did you notice the rousing round of us not disagreeing with you?
No, well, here's what I think. I think that there is a point where that you could have that type of effect happen, but you would have to be way high up there. It'd be like dating a supermodel, absolute perfect body, perfect features, and just not being able to hang in there. Just saying, I just want to date a normal chick.
Or like it's
that's the only instance where I can think of where you'd actually consciously step
like
down.
Your Bill Clintons, your Jude Laws, your Arnold Schwarzeneggers. You're just fucking who's around
yes. you. Or if you're talking about successive relationships,
are you like going much on the premise of a man is only
as faithful as his options?
His options, yeah. Is that where you're going from?
No, pretty much.
It's true to an extent. I mean, but look, let's be honest here. I would rather fuck Monica Lewinsky right now than Hillary Clinton at her hottest.
Than what?
Than Hillary Clinton at her hottest. I would rather take a blowjob, stuff a cigar up her butt, and blow nut all over her blue fucking dress than have wild, crazy sex with Hillary Clinton at her absolute hottest, which I can't even.
Well, her girlfriend might have an objection to that anyway, Rich. So,
here's the thing: it's strictly a physical, the way they look thing. Maybe
but also that Monica Lewinsky is down for way more crazy shit. That goes a long way.
Yeah, I mean, it's documented. Was it footnote 228?
Yeah,
I'll take a 6 who's 3 inputs and a swallow over a 10 who just lays there like a dead fish.
Right.
Sorry.
No, and even if you manage to get a yes from Hillary, it's going to be followed by a lot more no's.
Give me a 5 who tries hard.
Yeah, and here's the honest to God's truth. Like, that's just the physical part. Now you got to add in the personality and other things that you find attractive. I'm not saying pussy is the number one thing, but it's in the top fucking 5.
Speaking of pussy, I just got saved my mind. The movie I was discussing that was Jet Li is called Hero.
Okay.
The different stories is
sure she appreciates that reference.
We were talking about choices in video production, I guess.
Well, my wife's way smarter than me, man, so I just call her with answer questions like that.
Wait, you called her? She could hear the conversation. Oh, she could only hear one side.
No, I stepped out of the room, man. I'm not stupid.
Okay.
I don't want. She don't listen to the
I was going to say, you don't like being married, do you?
Actually, my wife's really fucking cool, and she'd probably just call me a jackass. That'd be about it.
No, all she'd hear is me yelling I know, my dick's like a ninja.
And I'm not saying any of the crap you guys are saying, so I can't get in trouble. You notice I've been quiet the whole fucking time.
Quiet, just like the Ninjack.
Yep, the Ninjack.
Oh, you got to keep your poker face during a Ninjack, though. That's the problem, man.
You don't, you don't stay married for 15 years doing stupid shit.
I've said it many times before, and I'm going to say it many times. Every time you say that, it sounds like a prison sentence to me. I'm glad you're happy, sir, but to me, that's a prison sentence. That's just how I feel.
Oh, no, good for you, man. You've been through it. I mean, whatever. I guess.
I lasted 10 years.
Oh, right
I
on,
lasted
man.
10. And I was like, Jesus Christ, you know.
No, the thing is, man, is like I found a chick that like was kind of like-minded and accepting of me, who I am, and like kind of sound fucking gay or whatever. Like I found my best friend, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, like
what, you don't let go of that shit.
No,
hey, honestly, on our wedding day, our little placards, whatever, that were on the fucking tables and everything, it says, you know, today we join blah 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 and blah 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 together, and then it has a little quote that's supposed to like sum up how we feel about it, and it said, "Today I marry my best friend," and my buddy was like,
"Fuck you, dude."
He looked at, well, first of all, yeah, because he's kind of sensitive like that, and then he looked at me and was like, "Really, dude? Your best friend? You understand that, you know?" And I'm like, "Look, man, on a long enough timeline, pussy and sex and everything stops being the most important thing, and friendship is what matters." And he's like,
"When does that happen?"
And he hold on, and he goes, "Well, great. When she leaves you for another guy and she's fucking him and you're still friends, then we'll have this conversation." We had that conversation about 6 months ago. So,
touche.
That cocksucker.
Yeah, touche. Well, whatever, man. You know. I never had
strange
friends
thing
that would
dating in my 30s that I have to like you now to have sex with you, like as a person, not even as like in a long-term scheme of things. Like I generally. I want to be able to talk to you afterwards, crazy,
right.
Or just not want to, go, all right, get the fuck out.
I like to have intellectual sex too, like where like it just, I want somebody to make me feel stupid sometimes. Yeah. And that's like, not to sound too arrogant, but that's pretty hard to fucking do. I mean, well, I make myself sound stupid every Wednesday, but
in your 20s,
and Thursdays and Mondays is when we post it, so don't worry.
Whatever.
About it.
Yeah, in your 20s, it could be like, hey, let's have sex, whatever. Sure, And I'm not saying in your 30s it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I've noticed personally, I've developed this thing where like, hey, I might actually kind of want to like you as a person before we even.
Dude, I'm in my 40s, bro. I'm happy if she walks by me in a hallway and says, "Fuck you." That's called hallway sex. Fuck you, no, fuck you. No,
I've always needed that. I mean, again, not to sound arrogant. We're not sounding arrogant here tonight, but I feel like I've passed up on sex with a fair amount of girls just because I couldn't hold a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say that it was like I was intellectually superior. It's just we were incompatible in that fashion.
It's like, oh, you're totally hot. Just shut your fucking mouth.
Right.
Don't fucking say a word.
Never worked for me.
Just put a comic book in front of you.
The first chick that I had sex with when I was 17, I didn't really care for. And I was like, I don't know why I did this. I was just other than like I just had to get it out,
Hey, thanks for taking care of that pesky virginity thing for me. Have a good one.
Yeah. Oh, that was a mistake.
No, the first chick I had sexual relations with, I was 14, and it was at a party.
For you,
it was I would like to call it a blowjob, but it was mostly a hand job session. Every once in a while she's like, ew, and then I found out like,
listen, you're gonna have a better attitude than that. It's going to be a long life for you, honey.
Turns out she was just trying to get it away from her.
She was using her neck. She cut on your dick and was using her neck.
She was just swatting at it, and he came after like 5 seconds.
Well, here's the best part is a couple of weeks later, like I'm sitting around with my buddies and I'm trying to brag. I'm like, yeah, man, I got some at that party. I got some. They're like, who? And I said her name, and they were like, yo.
So did I.
She blew half the people at that party, man. And I'm like, you're fucking with me, right?
I love those girls.
Like, yeah, they're like, dude,
well,
did
she
you
did
kiss
me
her?
First.
Yeah.
And they were like, dude, did you kiss her? I'm like, before. And they're like, and I thought I was like, well, I didn't kiss her afterwards, so I'm good, right? And they're like, no, she probably blew still like
God,
a quarter of the guys that she blew before she got to you. And I'm like,
Rich immediately turns
no
into
wonder
a
she didn't want to
detective.
suck any more dick. I'm surprised her wrist didn't have fucking carpal tunnel. I mean, she gave a hell of a jerk off session, but still, it's like, fuck.
Right. Rich is trying to establish a timeline so he can estimate exactly how many different guys' semen he had.
Exactly. Because at that point, I could spit into a petri dish and clone half of my sophomore fucking year. I mean, it's like...
See, now I believe if you fast forward 10 years, that's what we call a gamer. Once again, no one denying anything.
I missed it. I don't get it.
Trying to suck any dicks on the way to the car. Hey, get back here.
Yeah, I'm just glad because at that point I don't even think Clerks was out. No, it wasn't. No. But I'm just glad she didn't try to snowball me. That way when I watched Clerks, I could actually laugh at that line and go, that's disgusting. What kind of sick fuck would do that? Meanwhile, in the back of my mind, when I actually saw it, I was like, ha ha. Oh, wait a minute. It's not maybe snowballing. That's maybe more like face planting while snowboarding. You know, it's like what I did. So fuck.
Hey, dude, the heat of the moment, it doesn't make you gay.
Hey guys, thanks for listening, thanks for clicking, thanks for liking, thanks for sharing, thanks for subscribing for free by clicking through the iTunes banner on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for telling a friend. I probably already said that, but that's how important it is because that's how podcasts work. We drop every Monday and Thursday. Check out all of the other shows on ChristopherMedia.net. So stay tuned, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time.
If you enjoy this show and want more people to know about it, head on over to iTunes, leave a comment, and rate it 5 stars. Make sure you like and share us on Facebook, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. Just search for Christopher Media. Thank you in advance for supporting Christopher Media by clicking on the PayPal button and by clicking through to all the sponsors who support ChristopherMedia.net. Most importantly, we would like to take the time to extend an extra special thanks to you. Christopher Media could not exist without your support. Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net, and thank you for listening. Christopher Media. Let's make some noise.
If your friends haven't told you, McDonald's Spicy Chicken McNuggets are back. The ones made with spicy tempura and aged cayenne. But before you go telling friends, make sure you get them first.